Sorry, I'm adjusting you. The sun is shining. The sun is shining very powerfully, and yes, this is wet hair. I am literally come back from spending, must have been nearly 5 hours at one boot sale. It was enormous. I think people were seeing it as the last one of the summer. Oh, hey up, Sue. Lovely to see you. Auntie Sue's in the house. Oh, I always wonder if this works because I can't believe it's as easy as it is. So people wanted to see what I'd bought. And I actually made a note as I went round on my little Samsung Notes program. I actually made a note of what I was spending as I was going along because I know that I forget. So yes, this is wet hair. Treasure Pirate had to shower down. It was a filthy, dusty, horrible experience, and I'm knackered. Hello, Lex. You got a notification. I'm glad it's working. So, hello, L33 Mrs. Hello, Mizzy I. Mizzy I. Have I got that right? Afternoon. Not seen you before. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. You'll see the usual suspects' faces in here as well as some you may not know. Here we go. We're all gathering together. Right, I've got to actually, I've kind of just tipped the bag out of one of the bags. I've got 2 large IKEA bags full, plus some jewellery. Didn't have to blame Ms. Oliver for that one. No, I do pick up jewellery. I just don't talk about it much because I haven't really got into listing it much. I've kind of been squirreling it away. Hello, Laura Ecclestone Sewell. What a lovely name. Hi. Oh dear, I should be asleep really. I'm tired. Oh, Shelley's, yeah, I've got some catching up to do because I literally left the house at about 10:30 this morning, heading off to this boot fair, which is a 2-day one. And I just had a feeling that the other boot fair that should be on tomorrow might not be. Hello, Pink Harpy, hello. Because the weather forecast is a bit rubbish for around here. It's quite rainy. And especially in the mornings, people, some of the stalls just aren't going to be there because it's not undercover. It is literally a field. And there is no shelter. So I went today and I spent £66 and a bit. Obviously, £1 of that was getting in. I can't remember if I included the ice cream I had to have because I was about to pass out about 4 hours in because I'd sort of somehow forgotten to eat when I should have done. So nourishment was had with a flake. Yes, chocolate was needed. Now I've got notes here, so I've literally just dumped everything. So I thought if I don't do this, I'm going to forget. So I sort of listed things. Right, okay, what I've got here, 2 things I bought together were, no, it's not a teddy bear. I bought this scarf, which worked out at £1. Now, this looks very much like a Rupert the Bear scarf. It's a vintage one. It's got, oh, and it is a Rupert the Bear scarf. That's why I look. Rupert! I found these before, and there's something to do with the Daily Mail, but this one isn't. This is a Johnston's of Elgin. It's a vintage one. We're getting to that time of year when I think that will amuse somebody. That will make up this grass on everything. Seriously, I'm going to make a pile of the grass. I consider that paid for in my purchases. The problem with these old scarves, especially woolen ones, is you do have to check for moth holes. And in the middle of a field, that isn't always feasible, but I think this one's in pretty good nick. So it's very cute. I don't think they make a massive amount of money. There's a slightly loose stitch I might just have to tack down there on poor Rupert's jumper. But these things are perennially popular. And it's still got a good colour. It's not too faded. So that was £1 paid for that. Excuse the rustling. I've got the big bag now. Oh, bless you. That's my husband having a sneeze. This has grass on it. Bless you again. It's not a teddy bear, it's a fur coat. Of all the things to be buying in this weather, especially with added grass, but it's quite a nice one, I thought. And we will soon be wanting these things again. This is Peruna, a large, which I think equates to a 16, 18, I think a large. Obviously I will remove the grass that's come quite so freely with it, but it's one of these ones that has nice metal hooks. Obviously faux fur. No little surprises in the pockets, that's always good. Usually it's a tissue. Sometimes it's other things. It's a kind of a greyish colour. I'll probably give it a nice little comb over. But I'm sure someone will want that. It's a fairly classic style, and it'll do well with a little bit of the steam and a comb. I'm going to put him down there. In terms of what I'll get for it, I mean, it's got to be 20 quid in it, surely. A nice thing. I say that, but obviously I've done no research. Excuse the back of my head. Ugh. I had to wrestle it earlier. I swear it's alive. Right, get into the bag. Right, so that was that and that. So that was £3 spent. Blah blah blah. Oh, okay, did I? Oh, yes. Right. So I'll save those for later. This I paid £3 for. Probably overpaid, but it was the first thing I bought. But these hunting, shooting, fishing waistcoats. Oh, okay, I've made an error. I'm going to have to take the little tie thing off the back because it's lost one of its ties. Yeah, that's what happens. First thing in is quite often a bit of a fail, but it sort of gets your buying eye in. It's not the best thing in the world, but I really liked the colour on it. It's proper country. It's got bubbles, but it has got all its buttons, which I did check. But you know, when you first arrive somewhere, the place had about, I mean, the rows are really long. The rows are about 250 yards long, and it had about 5 rows. That's why it took me so long to get down. So I bought that for £3, and I think that's, if I tart that up and make it nice, I might get 20 quid out of it, which isn't my usual ratio, but you know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. However, moving slightly off clothes, for £5, I got, do we know what these are? Do you know what it is yet? Oh dear. Now, I have got one of these on my listings already. These are gaining a lot of popularity amongst the mid-century modern collectors. Some are better than others. This one's got a slight ding on it, but, well, you know. Oh, Caroline, hello. Nice to see you. What are you going to change your name to? Got a lot of ice cream? Yes, you have. Kazawaza Woo Woo. I think that's a really good name. There we go. We've got one sitting. I actually got 7 of these for £5. Now, given that I've got one on there that I'm trying to sell for $14.99, which seems a fair price because that hasn't got any damage. The sitting down one's rather nice. They were a bit rudely carved, but they seem to be having a bit of a moment. So I thought, you know, jump on the bandwagon. It's Bambi and his bigger mother. And here's a completely different Bambi. This is much heavier, and I think this is a better wood. Much more hardwood. I mean, these are probably teak. But I don't know what this one is. He's rather handsome though, so I think he might be something a little bit more special. Slightly better carved. But, you know, when they worked out at less than £1 each, I thought, you know, why not? This one's rather elegant. Again, he's got a bit of a chip on his horns, but people don't seem to mind too much. My nan had these. She had a lovely hippo as well, which is, now that's a really big one. Here we go. Now, that can't be a baby one. I mean, it looks more like a hyena, which you wouldn't want near your antelope, which is what I'm assuming these are. Yeah, again, they've all lost a bit of a prong. They could all do with a bit of wood polish and tarting up a bit. But there are many, many Bambis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6, undamaged. There we go. I need some teak oil, actually. I think that's what I'm going to do, is dig out my teak oil. And I liked this sitting one. Again, if that's his baby, someone has no idea of proportion. No. Well, no, one's got a sticker on that says hand carved, and it's deeply faint. The rest have long lost their stickers. But that one seems to be better quality, as does that very dark one. So there's a whole family of Bambis. There's something quite nice about them. I always remember quite liking them because anything animal I kind of like. It's a shame that they've had horn problems, but luckily those two are even. You know, if they go for a tenner each, I'm not exactly unhappy. Oh, pink harpy. Yes, family needs to be fed. Indeed, I've just butterflied a leg of lamb. Not one for the vegetarians out there, eh? and marinating it. And at that point, I basically said to my husband, I've done my bit, they're all yours now. You can sort out the barbecue and the other food that goes with it, because what I normally find is with the barbecue is you end up having a man in front of the fire cooking some meat, and then all the other work seems to be taken on by the female of the species. So I think there's a bit of a, I was going to say extinction rebellion, but that's not the right term, is it? It's a bit of female rebellion going on here, which is just because I'm in the possession of female parts does not mean I'm necessarily responsible for everybody's nourishment. There you go. But I won't get all feisty on you. But I thought 7 a day for a £5. There's a couple of really nice ones in there. The others are kind of averagey. But even if they average out at a tenner each, with postage on top, you know, that's £70 worth for £5. I'm not really going to grumble, but I'm going to get them listed quickly because I have a funny feeling that could be something that's kind of comes and goes. Oh, you're having chippy tea. That sounds lovely. Chippy tea. Hello, Crispy. Hello. It's not all clothes, but it is mostly clothes. Sorry. It is. Oh, and maybe the odd handbag and belt, because I never neglect a handbag or belt. Right, so those paid for. My pile of grass off the field is growing here. Right, my phone clicks me out and then it wants to recognise my face, but it doesn't always recognise my face. Right, okay. Next. I've sort of got things in the wrong order. This is the thing. I think I paid 50p for this bag. Vintage bags, still in, Kelly style bag. This one does feel like it's leather. I know they can be quite decent even if they're not. There's no label in it, but it's so clean inside. Seriously, no one's really used that for anything major. Oh, it has that lovely old but clean suede smell. So it's suede lined. It's got the mock croc effect. It's got a nice little neat clasp there. I liked that, and I particularly liked it for 50p. I was quite surprised when she said 50p. We had quite a few people there who, how can I put this politely, quite ambitious in their pricing, considering they were stood in the middle of the field. And it's the ones who'll say, you know, I've seen those on eBay, you can get so-and-so, so-and-so for that. And I'm thinking, then why the bloody hell aren't you selling it on eBay? Because you're foolish otherwise. Right, so that was a 50p bag. You know, should pull good money, I'm hoping. So this was, I'm just trying to work, so I lumped some things together, obviously. So bag and coat and skirt. Right, okay. So I think I paid £2 for a skirt. I'm thinking these are part of the bundle that I bought. Now, I don't think velvet has completely finished its day, so this is a long maxi vintage velvet with a lot of stuff on it. Not really my bag. I've realised what I'm going to have to do is actually buy some sequins and things, because I've got things that are missing, a couple of little beads. And if I've got the right size, the little long sequins, little long beads, as well as a few sequins, I could probably tidy that up. But, you know, it's all a bit zhuzhy. So that was £2. I mean, yeah, I don't think it'd stun me well with it, but I'll get something for it. You know, not everything's a surefire score. This cost me £2.50 though, and I think is a bit of a score. This is a good brand, Arms. It's a pretty good brand of leather. I've got some trousers on at the moment with them. Okay. Don't know why that's on there. I think I'll just lose that. So this is, now I've got to do something with these buttons because they're falling off. They're really weirdly falling off. They're not meant to be that long, I'm sure, so I may have to reattach. It's a nice one though, properly lined. It's not a very long coat, but it's a nice length, mini length coat. Beautiful quality leather. I did check it over quite carefully because I know I'm only paying £2.50, but I don't want to go home and find there's some god awful rip in it or something I haven't seen. It's kind of 70s style, which is a bit of a thing. I think it would have been even better if it had been tan rather than black, because that seems to be making a bit of a comeback. Oh, and there's 20p in the pocket. So that's cost me a little less then. It's funny when that happens. Oh, hang on, what have we got here? Oh, a spare button. Okay, that's good. I've got a spare button. Because I might need one. I think they're all there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 3 buttons, yeah. So that was nice. I think, I'm gonna try high for that to start with. I've got a little area here where the leather has come apart, but it's on the seam. It's not a rip, and I've got leather needles, and they have very, very sharp ends. I mean, like a spear almost. So you can get through, and I have been able to repair leather before. You just have to be very careful to do it as invisibly as possible, which I will do, and then say it's had a repair, but it's all good. So for £2.50, there's got to be. Oh, how high am I going to go on that? It depends with my research, but I'm hoping over £30 for it. Right, I'm eyeing up some things here. Not everything is completely wintry flavoured, I have to say. Oh, hey, Lainey. Hi. I did catch you last night. I had to have you on sort of very low volume because I was in the room with hubby watching telly, and it's always a little bit awkward. But I didn't get a notification, but one of the ladies on my chat told me about it. So, yeah, and I am subscribed. Great minds are thinking alike. Velvet always sells in the winter. I think it does. There's certain people who love it. It's a bit like the Matrix. It's not one of those super long maxi coats, or certainly not on me. It's more kind of just above the knee, but it still gives that effect. And as we all know, the Matrix never quite goes out of fashion, even if you want it to. I've been trying to find the third Matrix film. If anyone out there in the universe has the third Matrix film, which I know was awful, don't get me wrong, but we've got the first two here, and my son likes the first one. We're setting up to watch the second one, but I'd like to be able to show him the third one before the new one comes out, because apparently they're making a new one. So if anyone's got the last one, I think it was Matrix Reloaded or Revisited, and then I can't remember what the last one's called. Okay, so this coat I paid £5 for. Leather is definitely a thing for me. I've always bought leather off eBay myself, so I tend to like selling it on eBay. And this is a bit unusual. It's a bit mad. It's been creased up actually. It's got all this fringing, so it's still a bit in the festival kind of mode. But this is all real leather. But one of the nicest things about it is that it is a good make. It's Caramellin. Although it's an age, and it's not me. I mean, I'm not quite that hippie. But again, it's another decent length one. It's got that kind of scruffy hippie boho look about it. That I think some people still very much like to wear. Someone might want that for Witchfest. And for those who don't know, Witchfest is an annual gathering of people who are interested in such things. I called it Shopfest for years because it has the most incredible kind of market full of, it's a bit like Diagon Alley, the kind of things that you'd find that you'd never really expect or be able to find anywhere else. You haven't missed it all, Christine Davis, you haven't. I'm not even halfway through, so yeah. So if you've got things to sell that are kind of gothy, steampunky, witchy, pagany, do get them on now, because Witchfest is something that usually runs at the beginning of November, and I think it's somewhere around there this year. And people literally will go and shop for things to wear to it because people like to dress up. So get that stuff listed. It's not just for Halloween, it's for witches too. So yeah. Oh, it smells nice. I do like the smell of good leather. It's not as good a quality leather, I don't think, as the arms one, but it had a good look. So we went for that. £5. But Caramellin should go reasonably well. Should go reasonably high. So I've got 20p and a load of grass. We're doing well. I'm just moving and making sure you're not getting too hot on the bottom. I apologise for my hair. It's going to dry. And unlike a lot of people's hair that apparently grows in volume when it dries, mine does absolutely nothing, so it's going to be really boring. Right, what can I show you next? You're prepping dinner. Yes, well, you see, I've butterflied a leg of lamb, which is not easy. Believe you me, I'm not a butcher, but I do know how anatomy and physiology works. But when you butterfly a leg of lamb and you make it more the same sort of thickness all the way through, you can barbecue it, and it really gets a lovely flavour. I've been promising my husband we'd do it for ages, and of course, but it's me that does the butterflying of the lamb for some reason. So I'm hoping he's going to take care of the rest of it. I'm not holding my breath. Now, we all have a bit of tartan. I think we all know these sort of things are quite popular. It's a scarf. It's mohair and wool. It was made by St. Michael, so it's vintage M&S. And this looks like it was made yesterday. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. I couldn't wear it in a million years because I find wool terribly itchy and scratchy. But I love the colours of them. And I love selling them to people who are going to enjoy them. So that's a very sort of wide one. M&S, mohair and wool, made in Britain, with tassels on the end. Absolutely glorious for adding a bit of tartan into a fairly plain outfit, because it's very much a thing this year. £2 that cost me, and I might get £20 for that because it is so beautiful. Who knows? I never buy anything unless I think I'm going to make good money, but we all have sort of hit and miss fails sometimes. Next on my list. What's that? Oh yes, that's for me. Next on my list, I paid £1 for this, and okay, it looks like an ordinary denim waistcoat, and yes, it is an ordinary denim waistcoat. It's in grey, which apparently is a colour for this season, but it's by this brand, Amplified. There we are. Oh, I still can't get the hang of this. Amplified. Known for t-shirts, band shirts, good quality t-shirts, lovely cotton when you actually get the t-shirts, but this one has actually got the Rolling Stones on the back. Terrifying. Yes, I suppose they are rather terrifying now. They're still going, aren't they? Bless them. So I picked that up for £1. I mean, I don't know what I'll get for it. Depends how many others are on. Oh, the Stones doing a tour again. I don't know. Wheel out the Zimmer frames, I guess. Bless them all. They are fun. Right, I'm just going to tip this other bag out. There's going to be a noise. Oh, hey, Shelley. Oh, bless. I hope you're cooking something easy. Right, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there. I don't know what I'll get for that. That was £1 paid. Now, what else did I find? Well, I paid £1 for this. And I picked it up because I know leopard print is still, animal print is still having its moment. And this I thought was rather lovely. It's in a bigger size. It's M&S Woman, which is their better quality brand. And it's a size 24. And I just thought that is going to look super. It's not too garish, not too bright. It was in lovely condition. And for £1, I thought I'd like someone to enjoy wearing that. I quite like it when you have a nice cuff detail because they don't bother to do that. So that was rather nice. It's not a heavyweight thing either. You liven up an outfit, I guess. However someone wants to style it. So that was £1. Don't know what I'll get back for it. Ooh, I'm trying to be organised, aren't I? Bag. Coat and skirt. Ah, okay. Right, I think this bag also cost me 50p. Now I picked it up. It's got some marks on it, which I need to approach with a wet wipe. I liked it because it has this little horse head for a buckle. I thought that's a bit unusual. Modaloo. I've got a feeling, my instincts were saying to me, this looks like actually a really nice quality bag. It is leather, of course. It has its little feet, which can be an indicator of quality. It's nicely made and stitched. It's got some fading, but of course my Doc Martens Wonder Balsam will be applied. I'll feed the leather. It's not glorious inside. I might try and wash the inside because clearly someone went to the beach and brought half the beach back with them. but I'm going to do what I can with it. It depends what sort of quality it really is. It's just, it's just nice metalware, modellu. It just screams decent quality for me. It does say that it's 100% leather. So with a nice clean up. Sometimes I fail with bags. Sometimes, bags are well made and lovely and they still go for very little money. But I don't know, there's a part of me that doesn't want to see things like this end up in landfill. I think someone else could get a use, especially when they're so expensive new. There we go, nice snappy clasp. And I like this little grab handle at the top and a nice adjustable shoulder strap. It's a little bit sort of mullered at the top here. Not quite sure what somebody was doing. Really not sure what they were doing, but hey, for 50p, if I get anything for it, I'm kind of quids in. I do like to see if there's anything in the pockets, but no. So who knows? That's a bit of a. I don't look things up when I'm at a boot fair. I haven't got time. Reception isn't always that good, and I don't want to stand there like an umpty trying to look things up. If it's at a cheap price, if it is at an expensive price, you go up to the rail, you start looking through the rail, you say to the stall holders, have you got a particular price for your jackets, or have you got, is everything on the rail the same price, is everything different? And then when they say, oh well, they're all different, but they won't volunteer roughly what the range is, you kind of think, oh, okay. Sorry, I really need that tea. The sun's getting lower as well. Hang on. There we go. Oh, I went all blurry then. Whoa, I can make my hands go blurry. Oh, hi go, Jazz. Right, this I got. She gave me the hanger with it as well. This is velvet, and it's about mid-70s, I would say, 75. It's got a little collar like that, full length zip at the back. It's got these leg of mutton sleeves that I know seem to be a thing. The slim, it's quite nicely made. It's been handmade, and it is a little rumpled, so I'm going to have to hang it and gently steam it. It's a true 70s dress, but of course being velvet and in a lovely dark blue, it's got quite a bit of allowable hang on it as well, which could be useful for somebody. Yeah, it's long. I feel like I'm going blurry. I wonder if someone else is on the internet. I might take it off the hanger because, to be frank, that hanger's not much use. Now I think I paid £2 for it. The woman gave me this big story, and I thought, oh God, she's going to say it's expensive. About it being her bridesmaid's dress for her sister's wedding in 1975, and it was handmade. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, let's get to the point. And she said, oh, well, I want a couple of quid for it. I said, would you take £2? She said, yes. So there you go. I don't mind paying £2 for that. But all the palaver that went on before it, I really thought I was going to end up not buying it. What have we got here? So it's got to paid for things. Yeah, £2 for that. I think I paid £1 for this, but I think I got this for me. Actually, I think I did. It's a fluffy, mad, sleeveless, mad cardigan, really. It's one of those things where you want something to keep your body warm, but you don't want your arms and you don't want to be stuffed into a big jumper. So it was no brand, but yeah, that's for me anyway. So I suppose I should take that off the purchase price. Something I can back myself in when I'm feeling chilly. My jumper and dresses. I'm just going to pay for these. I think I got all these for £5. I've lost track of it a little bit. I was writing down as I went. This actually is I don't know the brand Molly Ann. Molly Ann. Molly Ann. But I bought it because it's obviously like a It's like an Angora. It has that really soft feel. And although I kind of struggle with how they get this stuff in the first place, I kind of think, well, if it's being made, then I'd rather it was recycled than going to landfill and be a waste of everything, really. 50% Angora, 50% nylon. It felt like a nice quality brand as well. So, and these kind of taupe, very big neck. These kind of sort of taupey neutral colours, I think, always do quite well. Not a huge amount of money in it, but it was, I probably paid the equivalent of £1 for it. Oh, I just can't handle them. That's all. 2 dresses. Worked out at, I think, a couple of quid each. This one I loved. Again, another brand I don't know, but I picked it up because I liked it. I can't even read that now. Nila Rubra, possibly. It's so transparent. It's like one of those 70s dresses, the really skinny ones, thin ones. It's got, would it be a maxi dress? Probably not on me, a midi dress, I would say. And it's got pockets too. Yay, who loves a dress with pockets? Probably an Indian make. I just like the way it was sort of pink and edged in green, because I think next year that's going to be quite a colour, because it seems to be coming through in interiors. So I thought, well, it's not my colour, but someone might like it. I'm assuming it's cotton. I haven't found a fabric label. It just seemed to be quite nicely made. And I would say that's probably a 10 to 12. So not a teeny tiny size. So that's, obviously I list things as I go. I don't tend to hold things back. Because it's always summer somewhere, isn't it? And I do find that about 20, I looked at it the other day, about 20% of my sales are on the GSP, go abroad. Primarily Germany and the USA, I think, more than anything else. Quality over quantity, yeah. Yeah, I do like the feel of things. I can't buy something that's horrible. Again, I don't know this brand, but it was new with tags. Seemed reasonably well made. I wasn't sure. It looks like it should be Holly and Joey. Not a brand that's known to me, but this is new, and it's not quite dark florals, but it's kind of autumny colours. It should be good for now. A few frills. It's got a slight metallic. Actually, it's got a slight gold metallic thread running through it. I don't know if you can see that, and probably not. But I think that's probably quite on trend. Someone will enjoy wearing that. And for a couple of quid, it's got to be a good 20 or quid out of it. Unless it's something extraordinary that I've missed. Right, what have we got left? Right, okay. I think I made £1 each for these things. I always have reasonable luck with these. Polo Ralph Lauren shorts. These are a man's size large. I don't know if that large. They might be a woman's. I do struggle with trying to tell sometimes. Let's have a look. They're the genuine article. Oh, they've got a button fly, so they're definitely going to be a bloke's. What woman could be asked with a button fly? In all seriousness. 100% cotton. Bog standardy things, but they always go. I don't ask masses of money for them. People like them. I think once a bloke finds a short, a brand he likes, it tends to stick with it and not want to muck about. And these 2 little things are also £1 each. I think this is a good brand. Ariat. Oh, no, doing it the wrong way. Ariat. There we go. Small petite. So these, Shelley, I'm looking at you. No, small and petite. I thought these were fun. They've got elbow patches knitted in, and they are actually, if I can find it. So I'm having a look now. I think they're made of something rather good. And I can't see because I know this one is merino. Is it merino? I picked them up and I thought, you know what, these are going to be quite good. Yeah, 100% merino wool. This is slightly different. Avia Trek Cold Series. This is merino wool. And this is quite diddy. This might be a kid's one, possibly, or someone very petite. But they're obviously meant to go underneath, perhaps skiing wear, merino for warmth, and they just felt nicely made. The seams are nicely made. They're not worn. Someone's obviously worn them once and then dropped them in the field, so they've got the grass with them. But I will research them, but you know, for £1 each, they're not going to break the bank anyway. Oh, hey, Sam. Everyone's in. Which brand was that, lovely? You saw a brand in TK Maxx yesterday. Was that the Ariat one? I know we're slightly behind, so it takes a while for things to click through, doesn't it? I thought they were the same thing, but they're not. But I quite liked that. It's just a thin knit jumper, and thin knit jumpers are kind of a lovely thing when the weather gets cool. So we'll do a bit of research on that. That's the logo that the Ariat one has. Little funny thing there. Very, very strange. But that's me picking up oddities. But you know, if they're not going to be brilliant, then they get stuck on auction and they're just auction fodder. And someone will keep them. Someone was selling ski wear, but they wanted a bit too much for it, and I hadn't got that amount of money left on me anymore. So I didn't buy it in the end. I thought, well, I know I could make money on it, but how much money for the effort? The Holly and Joe. Oh, right, yes, it could have been. I'll do some research. Just trying to see if it's got a TK Maxx sticker on it. Made in France. Ooh, there's lots of French going on here. Cette création a fait l'objet d'un soin particulier. Nous utilisons les matières. Anyway, you don't need to hear that. Yeah. Well, we'll check it out. Thanks for that, Lex. Yeah. We have got a TK Maxx in Tunbridge Wells, but it's kind of in the industrial estate just outside Tunbridge Wells, and I don't go there very often. I do go to TK Maxx for super king size duvet, because that's what I need, having a super king size duvet. So when I want the covers, I do go to TK Maxx because they are one of the best prices. Ooh. Vintage Polly Pockets, totally out of my comfort zone. Well done, you guys, for finding them. That the toys thing, I'm always in great admiration of Sue and you know, you guys who pick up toys. I just can't. Oh God, that tea's nearly cold. Lovely. Oh, you're shattered too, Sam. Yes, I should be sleeping really. I'm absolutely knackered. Right, I paid. I think I paid some silly amount of money for this. She was so, by the time they were starting to clear up, people were getting slightly desperate and not wanting to take things home with them. Maybe I didn't put it on. Anyway, this is probably one of my, probably one of my favourite finds of the day. And he literally said, everything's £1. It's a coat. And I thought, oh, I like a military looking coat, because I do that. Isn't it fab? And it's got the corsety stuff on the back. It's wonderful. Well, I'm really not showing it to its best, am I? I'm really selling this to you, aren't I? Yeah, mostly cotton. But these sleeves, look, I love this. I think this is probably too small for my body. Oh, but I'm loving that sleeve. Sleeves are always too long on me. In spite of my height, I have quite short arms. Don't ask me why. I'm the T-Rex of the reselling world. And I can't find the brand, so I'm going to have to go hunting for it. But I really like that. It's super. Absolutely super. Whether I decide to keep it for me or whether there's a lot of strings going with it, but you know, the fact that I picked it up for £1, that's a definite witch fest seller. And it's kind of a jacquard fabric as well. It's kind of woven into, a pattern is woven into it, which is what jacquard is. And I like this double collar thing. I love that. I love that. Oh, it's mine. That may not be getting sold. I didn't even check to see if it was my size or not. I'm just like, must have. Right, so next, excuse me, shuffling around here. It's warm in here. I bought 3 belts and I paid £1 each for them. I like picking up belts. I think they're kind of a slightly overlooked area. I've had some success with them. I'm still learning. This was a belt from Cornelia James. I know the brand Cornelia. You can't even see her writing. It just looks like a squiggle. Hang on. You'll see scarves with that on. If they're silk, they're worth picking up. If they're not silk, then I possibly wouldn't bother. But this has quite an unusual fold over kind of buckle arrangement. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's got all these jewellery things on. Now, I do think the waist is having a bit of a moment, as it does every now and again. And so anything that gives you a nice defined waist tends to go well. And this is a nice leather. It's actually pretty well made. The stones, to my mind, are slightly, well, a bit out there for me. But hey, that was £1. You know, I'm thinking $14.99, something like that. Big belts as well. The madder the better. Look at the size of the buckle on that. And again, I picked it up because the brand I didn't recognise, but I thought it might be a goodie. It's worth a go. Jewellery, London. It could be something and nothing. But the brass buckle was quite a feature. I like belts. They're easy to photograph as well. I put them on the mannequin. I laid them flat on the floor. But this is quite piratey. Guess what? Steampunk. Adam and the Ants. Anything like that. That's quite funky. So I'm afraid I'm naturally drawn to such things. And the final one sort of came in separate bits. I found this first. A very, very large buckle. It's got no name on it. But I thought, you know, that's a bit brutalist. It's a bit out there. A bit strange. And then I found this lurking in the bottom of the box, which is the rest of the belt. I think the idea being that you hook one of the catchy things in there, one of the catchy things in there, and then you wear it like that. Again, a great waist definer. These are all quite a good size as well. They're not tiny. And I think a waist definer is a good thing. So that's very out there. No idea who it's by, but the strap that came with it is suede and seems to be a decent quality thing. So for £1, I grabbed that. I just like belts and accessories. As somebody who wears quite a lot of black quite a lot of the time, the accessories tend to get to be important. So you don't look like you're just sitting in a coal mine. Oh, excuse me, I'm really warm. Yeah, I thought you'd like that coat, Lex. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I'm having a warm moment. Not one of those warm moments. I'm just warm. Just to get that straight. Right, now, jewellery. Now, actually, I need, as if we've got Lex here. Where's he gone? This is not from today. This was from me spending a bit of money at the flea market yesterday. I spent £10 on a selection of jewellery. But I wanted to show, because I've got some really unusual things, or things that I think are unusual. I'm learning about jewellery. I'm not professing to know anything as yet. This has tiny little seams. Some seem to be London, some seem to be elsewhere. Excuse the old lady hands. It's magnetic. It's nothing valuable. It's very lightweight. But I just thought it seems quite old. It just seems to be I don't know if I can show you this. I'm going to, oh God, I'm in StreamYard. There's a little ship there. There's a little man there on the statue. Anyway, I don't know. I picked that up because it made me curious. Now, am I right in thinking, is rolled gold just gold? Yeah, yes, I'm holding one of these. No, so what? It says rolled gold. I don't know if that means if it's gold over silver or if it's just, it's not magnetic. If it's just over a base metal. I don't know. I thought that was quite well made, actually. I got that, and also because these were things I was just picking up as I went along. This is a St. Christopher, but this isn't anything as far as I can tell. Again, not magnetic though, which was what I found interesting. I picked up a lovely pair of earrings and then found out they're missing a stone. Annoying. Perhaps I need to get in the business of putting extra stones in. One of these tiny bright ones that's missing. So that's kind of annoying. If you like these lakes, I can send them to you. Perhaps you can put a spare stone in. I don't know. Weird little things like these little. I'm not showing you properly. It's quite old because it's got the C clasp. I do learn, you know. It's got the C clasp on the end. Very lightweight, flimsy thing. This interested me. I think this might be silver. I've yet to polish it. It actually says 2 years. 2 years of what, I wonder? It is enamel. And I've got a feeling it might be silver. And I know it's very old because the pin sticks out. I'm not doing this well, am I? Sticks out way beyond the end of the brooch, which I have heard, I have learned. Oh, here we go. Lesson on fantastic. You've had Parisian. I don't know if it's Parisian. I thought it might be German, but 30s and 40s, that sounds about right. Brutalist, yes, I love a bit of brutalism. Or the jewellery, anyway. Roll gold is gold layered with a base metal, so more gold content than gold plated. Okay. Bonded material used is. Okay. Tea's in the oven just in time for this. This isn't very sparkly. I like the way it says 2 years. I thought, oh. Not sure what that's 2 years for, but it intrigued me. And this intrigued me as well. It's obviously some sort of pin. Maybe it goes in a hat. I just thought how enchanting. Again, not magnetic. Little eagle, crown on the top. Just intriguing. I just pick up these things because I'm curious. I want to take them home and learn about them. This isn't magnetic, but I can't find a hallmark on it. So I'm not. And this is why I have just bought. Thank you to Lex and others who've talked about testing gold and silver. I have got jewellery, a lot of stuff that I need to sit and test, and I've ordered the kit and the stone that you do it all on. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think the big find out of this might be this. I'll try and hold it still. I think it's jade. It says 925 on the back, but it is gold coloured. So whether that is silver covered in gold, and I think they might be jade. It's so nicely made, the way they're all held in. It's just a nice piece of jewellery. It is well constructed. I can't find anything similar on the eBays. They're sort of silvery ones that they're saying are Chinese. And I'm guessing it's possibly a bunch of grapes, although with only 3 grapes on it seems a little miserly. But I just wanted to show this because I'm new to jewellery, and you know, I spent a tenner on that little lot, which I'm learning. It's not my usual. But I consider that you have to spend to learn sometimes, and you know, I don't make quite so many mistakes with the clothes and things anymore. But I just like to find something new I can learn. Excuse the teacup. Jade's very cold if you hold it against your neck. Right. Best do that then. It did feel very cold, and I know with stone it has to feel. Shall we try? It is cold. Yeah. It is cold. It just has that look about it. I've always quite liked jade. I like green. As you will see, the jewellery I bought today. Oh, no, there's something else I've got to show you. Right, this is probably a bit of a fail, but I quite liked it. I paid 20p for it. It's a brass bangle, but it's got that sort of modernist look to it. I just thought, well, why not? And it was a store being run by some little kids who were obviously trying to raise money for something, and I felt charitable. So, right, I'm going to put that there. Oh. Right, yeah, one more thing before I get into jewellery, because I forgot I put it in the bag. Olympus AF1. Now, I think these go for okay money. I think I paid £2 for it. Cameras, not really. I don't know a massive amount about them, but you know, I'm willing to learn a bit and try and see if I can. Okay, that's very strange. Yeah, try and see if I can work out what goes on. Yeah, jewellery is slow, but I love it, and I think I'll get a lot of pleasure out of doing it. So I don't mind if it's slow, if I'm selling things that I love, and you know, it'll kind of catch up with itself eventually. I've also sort of got quite a lot of jewellery that I haven't listed that is all squirreled away, because there may be a time when I'm not able to go out and source, like if I'm not well, or I've got to run around after my parents, or anything. There's all sorts of things that happen in life, so it's kind of like my fallback. So, jewellery for today. Now, there's only... Oh, hang on a minute. Look, it's all gone a bit tits up. Let me try and sort this out. There we go. Right. 4 items purchased for £25. Not my usual thing. But these were amazing. Look at that. If you ever needed a statement earring, and they're green. How unusual is that? Yeah. I probably did overspend, but I bought things that I loved, and if I don't get so much back for them, then I've learned. But I did love these. They're clip-ons. Now, this is a very bad light to actually try and see if there's a make. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Oh, hang on a minute. Right, where's my loop? They look well made, you see. Look at the back of them. She says, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with string. They're quite pretty even on the back. Was it about this service pin? Well, that's an interesting thought. I guess it possibly could have been. There's nothing on it that says butlins. It has to be said. But yeah, it was definitely 2 years service for something. I do have a loop, so excuse me while I scramble about looking for the loop. I don't tend to pull them out in boot fairs and things because I don't know, I feel a bit like, I don't want to kind of mark myself out as a dealer if I can possibly help it, just in case. I thought I saw something somewhere. Something upside down somewhere. This is good telly, isn't it? Judy Lee. Judy Lee. I don't know who Judy Lee is, but I sure like her earrings because they're mad. Mad as a box of frogs. I mean, they don't come much brighter than that, really, do they? I mean, that's 1.5 inches across that. It's amazing. Oh, you're having your dinner. No worries, Lex. Go and enjoy your lovely dinner. You can always watch back later and let me know if you've got any thoughts. This I rather liked. It's got a barrel clasp, and it's the garnets, I believe. But I like the fact they're all differently shaped. So it's difficult to show you without. It had variation in it. Do like a bit of garnet. And it's not a choker length, it's kind of collar length, I would say. So that sort of length. When they're real stones, when you can feel they're stones, I'm sort of drawn to them. So that came as part of it. So this was probably what bumped the cost up. Malachite. I'm sorry, I really struggle with StreamYard. Malachite. In all its beauty, they're quite heavy. They're not even. They're all slightly different shapes, so it's not like they've been manufactured. I love malachite. The colour of it is gorgeous. There's one here that's a little bit, but you know, I'm sort of imagining that they might be fairly old with the sort of barrel clasp. They've got tiny little beads between each one to sort of separate them out so they don't rub against each other, which is a quality thing. There's one that's kind of, I don't know if it has chipped off, it was just didn't get polished. It has a little bit of a, it's not perfect, but then it's natural, isn't it? So they're not meant to be truly perfect. I think that's probably what I paid. I would say probably at least £10 for, out of my £25 spend. And then probably I've got to say these. I'll get my fat fingers out of the way so you can see. These, they're lovely. They actually are a better colour off the screen than on. I'm hoping turquoise, lapis. Not sure what the pinky one is. Oops. God, I'm such a klutz when it comes to things like this. They're clip-ons as well. And they do say that they're made by somebody. Again, they just seem to be well constructed, a good weight, goldy colour. I mean, okay, they're not magnetic. They're not magnetic, but I don't, you know. But they just look lovely. They look so opulent. Let me see what they say. Eden. Eden. E-D-E-N. I don't know really. Sort of earrings that I'd be able to wear for about half an hour before I got allergic. I can feel them slipping off my ears actually, but it's no good when you've got long hair because nothing actually. How cool are they? I'm a magpie. I like shiny shinies. So I put pointy ears away. There we go. This is why I don't wear earrings. But they are fab. Mind you, you'd knock yourself out if you turned around quickly. Ow. Ow. But I thought they're gonna photograph beautifully against a nice background. They're just quite nicely made. So that actually, I really want to have a look at them. This stone, oh dear, this is me and StreamYard again. This pinky stone, this looks like turquoise, whether it's real or not, I don't know. This looks like lapis. But this pinky stone here is a real mystery. And that's what makes it so unusual, because it's unusual colours to put together. I think it's trying to be opally, but you know, I'm pretty damn sure it isn't. I don't know what it is though. It's got blue and pink in it. I don't know if it's something man-made. I know a reasonable amount about gemstones because I've always been interested. And they look a lot more sort of stand out in this light than perhaps they do on the camera. But, so that was my haul. So if I said I paid £10 for that, £7 for that, I don't know, £10, £7. Did I spend 25? So let's say those were 4. Let's say that was 4, so that's 8. Yeah, let's say those were 10. And then maybe these were another, I don't know, but you can see how it sort of adds up. My head won't math right now. Along with the brooch sold for 23. Okay. So that actually isn't bad. I mean, really. I just thought they were so amazing. There's something about that colour. It's a real yellowy green. And they're quite well made. You know, someone's taken a lot of time and trouble to put each, I mean, I'm assuming they're glass, but, you know, to put each thing in quite carefully and make sure it stays there. Oh, Lainey, you're on the research. Bless you. Blanche Viano, a fashionista and beauty. She opened Jubilee in 1949. Wow. Okie dokie. Well, she liked her bling. And they're definitely vintage. But that's lovely because they look like new. They look like no one's worn them. They look like they were made yesterday. It's just that style is, I think, the big earring, the kind of statement earring. Really? Wow. Okay. I think they'd make someone a lovely Christmas gift. I actually have quite a lot of jewellery boxes, you know, little cardboard ones, a bit like this, that I just bought as a job lot off somebody thinking, I know I'm going to do jewellery one day. Overline. Wow. Okie dokie. Overline. That's an interesting one. Let's just see what we can find. Excuse the tapping. Because if I don't do this, I'll forget. Oh my goodness me, yes. Oh yes, there they are. Right, that's there for me to look up later then. Fabulous. Any ideas on these ones though? On these would also be very much appreciated. I just wouldn't even know where to begin with them. I just know they're gorgeous, but that's not really a keyword that's going to provide me with a lot of information. You've got to feed the family now. I should let everyone go as well. I need to put this lot away, I guess, and tomorrow will be a day mostly photographing. That's for sure. So it's been lovely to do a live with you all. Thank you for joining in the chat. It's lovely to see you. I hope your weekend is going well. I hope you have great success at boot fairs and wherever you're going tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to all of your lives. So take care. Thanks ever so much for tuning in. And I'm going to say end the broadcast. And yes, I'm going to end the broadcast. Bye bye.